What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Big D Keeping It Real podcast YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys stopping by, man. I am the man of the hour, just like I said, man. And what a Thursday game, right, guys, man? Let's get to it, man. Right here we pick them. I invite everybody to come down, man. Leave your comments, throw your setup in the air, and we talk about a little bit of football. But man, appreciate you guys, man. It's been a crazy month already, and we're still getting excited. Still the beginning of the season, man, and we're just right here, just chuckling them, right? Where they say the grass is greener on the other side, man. Unfortunately, it isn't for some players and for some other teams right now, right? So by me saying that, man, if you guys checked out the Thursday night game, it was a good game, man. It was a competition game. My team was out there. They were playing. I think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals had a better outing. And just because, there was shout out to Tua, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, who went out there. He was playing a good, solid game. And the Cincinnati defense came and roughed them up, man. And it's pretty unfortunate that he required another injury. Seems like he had an injury last week against, I believe I want to say Buffalo or Baltimore. And, he passed the protocol, for him to come out and play. And, the concussion was real, man, because, once Cincinnati Bengals, one of the defenders came in and slammed him to the ground. Unfortunately, it looked horrible. And he was put out in the game. So, from my understanding, he suffered another concussion. And hopefully they give this guy a rest, man. And sometimes, it's pretty tough. Like I said, coaches, they make some tough decisions. Players got to make some tough decisions. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So shout out to Tua, and I'm glad that he has all his feelings in his hands and his legs and through his body, man. So that's one good thing. So hopefully give this guy a rest. Yes, Cincinnati came out. I did pick the Cincinnati. I didn't pick the Cincinnati Bengals. I picked, Miami Dolphins to win. But look, it was a close game, right? Cincinnati did look pretty good. They came out, did their thing. There was really no running game. Still, the offense looked a little bit looked better. Looked like a solid, unified group, and they did their best that they could, against the defense of Miami, which I thought that was pretty solid. We did see the battle of the receivers, battle of the defenders, right? The DBs and the WRs, and it went both ways, man. Yes, Chase and Higgins, they did their thing. And also on the other side, Hill and the other, I forgot the other receiver's name, they came out and did their thing too as well. So, like I said, they had a backup come in, and Miami was still fighting, in the trenches. They were still doing their thing, but unfortunately they came up short, and Cincinnati came, and now they're a 500 team. Whoever says that you're unbeatable, we already know that, man. We live a humanistic life, and at any time, anybody's beatable, right? So, but like I said, shout out, Cincinnati to the Cincinnati Bengals. They did come over there. They did close the game. It was 27-15. So, like I said, we're 2-2. We're a 500 team now, and we played out of, I think, out of these 5 weeks, we only had one home game. We should have won against Pittsburgh, but hey, it is what it is, right? Field goals, special teams. Every player, could you imagine the ball, the hiker couldn't freaking get the ball right, and we lost to that because of that margin. Could you believe that? Hey, but it's possible. And the next week after, again, to a good Dallas team, and surprising. And we lost against 3 points against that. So, these are some close games, pretty exciting. These are the kind of games that I do like and like to watch. I'm pretty sure for the fans, they don't want to see no blowouts. It's not college, but sometimes it is what it is. And we'll leave it at that. So, shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals pulling a win over the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, I think they still look good. They just gotta regroup, and hopefully they're. I think it's Bridgewater, from my understanding. It's got to go out there, get more familiar with the plays and the playbook, and I think they should be okay, man. So, shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins, man, for putting a good show for Thursday Night Football, man. Right? How about those? Okay, so I'm gonna run them down right now, real quick. These are the games that are tomorrow. If you guys do know, there's gonna be an early game tomorrow in Great Britain, England. You know what I mean? All hail the Queen, right? Your Majesty and everything else. I mean, rest in peace to the Queen. She just passed a couple weeks ago, and some people were saying, I ain't even gonna say it. But I had a chance to go out there. Beckenham Palace. I was there. I'll do a video on that. One day or another. I don't know when, but I got some pictures showing that we were out there. And shout out to all my New Englands out there, not the Patriots, but my English people, right? But tomorrow's game, man, it's gonna be early in the morning. From my understanding, it's gonna be 6:30 a.m. So all you early birds that especially in the East Coast, you guys should be able to. Should be your not too early, but over here, I think the game starts at 6:30. We got the Vikings going into New Orleans Saints. You know what I mean? So the New Orleans is going to be the home team, and the Vikings are going to be the visiting team. I think the Vikings lost last week. I'm not sure. I think the Saints also lost last week too. So this should be a good game. You got two teams that are going at it, still trying to find themselves, still trying to, and still early in both sides of the ball. And they're just trying to make one team's obviously going to be one step ahead of the other one. It's a long travel. You got to think about it's at least 16, 17-hour flight. From my experience, maybe to them it might be shorter, but I had a layover. But I'm looking at a good game right here. Like I said, all the English people should be proud and they should be excited. Woo! Excuse me. It's when the heart stops, right? So they should be excited out there. It's pretty cool to know that over there in Great Britain that they have NFL over there, and they have football fans. And football is cool, man. It's kind of like a rugby game. They're into rugby over there on that side of the world. It's a little bit similar to that, But over here we do it a little different, and I'm glad that they're excited and they're welcoming, the NFL to go over there and to participate and just put a good game on. So that's what we want to see, right? So like I said, the Vikings going into the Saints. I haven't really been keeping up too much on these two teams. Apparently, the Saints, they're still looking for themselves. The little that I've seen, they have a good running back and a good defense and everything else. Vikings as well. They're I seen the first game, and I haven't seen really nothing with Jefferson coming out there. I expected a little bit more from Kirk Cousins. This is a tough one to pick right here, so to be honest with you. But I'll go with the home team, so let's go New Orleans. I'll pick maybe a low-scoring game, 23-17. We'll go with that. Next game we'll talk about, man, Seattle Seahawks going into Detroit Lions, man. So, Detroit looks pretty solid. I think they got a win or two, if my understanding. Still trying to find. Still got a good running back. Still not a big. Forgot their quarterback's name. He used to play for the Rams. What? To be honest with you, actually, I have been keeping an eye on them. They've been keeping it close within a lot of games. So shout out to the Detroit Lions and the coaching staff and defense and offense of the side, the coach itself. Just doing a good thing and working with what they have. And I'm expecting a good game from these two teams. Seattle, without Russell Wilson, even though Russell Wilson's not doing too good over here in Denver, I'm still looking at a good game tomorrow. Seattle still trying to find themselves without, offense, their leader, should I say. So, but I think the other quarterback has come in and stepped in, and he has done a good job, and this should be a good defense. A good game, offense and defensively. But on this one, I'm going to pick the Lions, and it'll be a close game too. I'll say like 23-17 as well. So we'll look on that one. Here goes another one right here, guys, and the Jets going into Pittsburgh. And this should be a good, exciting game as well, to be honest with you. Joe Flacco has taken over, the helm right now. He is quarterbacking the offense and guiding them and doing what they got to do. I've seen him do some, he still has the long ball in him. Going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I told you guys, Pittsburgh still trying to find themselves. I know they came down, they put a beating on the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, and they did win only by 3. I really don't know their record. I don't know if they're 1-2 right now or 2-1. But if this is going to be in Pittsburgh, so I'm expecting a good game. I know they're still depending on what's his name, the quarterback Trubisky, right? Is that his name? And sometimes when I was watching it, sometimes he looks good and sometimes he doesn't. So it all depends what kind of playbooks they have for the New York Jets going in there. And the same thing for the New York Jets going into Pittsburgh. So, I'll give the Steelers the edge of the doubt just because of the home team. And I think they'll pull this one off. This one should be like 20-10. It's going to be a close scoring game. They both Pittsburgh does have a solid defense. I did see it. They laid it out on Cincinnati. Didn't really look at their game last week. But it should be an exciting one, guys. So I'll go with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. Pittsburgh Steelers at home, 20-10. All right, guys. Here's another one, man. Shout out to the Chicago Bears, man, going into New York, and I'm talking about the Giants. And wow, what a change the Giants have looked so far, man. If I'm right, if I'm correct on this one, the Giants are 2-1. That's pretty impressive for a New York team. I thought they were still a team that's going to try to find themselves this year, and so I give them the benefit of the doubt. They do look good. The Bears have also surprised me too. So this is going to be a good offense and a good defensive game. Special teams is going to be critical right here, depending on how the officials coach, the game as well. And who I think whoever's in control of the time, the clock, I think that's the one who's going to win it out. So on that in that aspect, I think the Giants should be the home team. I think they will control a little bit more of the time. But you never know, this is going to be a good game. But I'm going to give it out to, in all honesty, I'm going to give it out to the home team. The New York Giants pulling out a close one. I'm expecting 20-17. It should be real close. Should go down to the wire. So I'll pick out the Giants, against the Chicago Bears, man. Shout out to the homie Joker and his Chicago Bears. All right. All right, guys. It's going to be another close one, man. The Tennessee Titans going into the Indianapolis Colts. Wow, what an upset that the Colts did, right? Pulled against Kansas City. Who would have thought that, right? They started out 0-2, but like I'm trying to tell you guys, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this should be a good game, man. I'm expecting, the Titans to come in. They looked good last week, too. They got Derrick Henry going. Tannehill looked okay. The Tennessee Titans, okay defense. Special teams is all right. Don't really know. Matt Ryan, he came in. I don't know how he was able to beat, Kansas City, but anybody's beatable. We already know that. And I expect, for the Indianapolis Colts to come out still and to take the momentum. And they're going to be at home. They got to, if they could win this game and be a 500 team as well. I mean, it's shocking. So this is going to be a tough pick, but I'm looking for another upset. I'm looking for Matt Ryan to come out. I think the Colts have found themselves. They have a good receiver. They got a good running back. Right, defense looked a little bit all right for the little time I was looking at them, but Titans, it's gonna be a close game right here. I'll keep it in. It's not gonna be a high scoring game, and I'm looking at least 14-21. Indianapolis pulling it out by a touchdown, at least 7 points. I'll give them that. Okay, it's not about the points and everything else. It's about the picks, right? Let's pick them. That's who I'm picking, right? And that's why I like gradually how we come in here. I give my opinion. You guys give yours. And we'll keep it like that, man. So, let's keep rocking it, right? Shout out to the NFL. Not for long. But here's another good game, guys. You got their Los Angeles Chargers going into the Houston Texans. Los Angeles looked beat up last week. They got rolled over by Jacksonville. That's another one. That was another surprising game, right? So now you got to be careful how we pick them. I got to be careful how I pick mine. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and we saw a good game, and we're going to look at another one. We got Los Angeles going into Houston. Houston's been into some close games. I think they have a tie, and but I'm expecting the Chargers, the away team to come in here to regroup. To get Herbert back in there. I'm pretty sure they went in. They saw the playbooks. They saw a little bit of filming. I think the coach is pressing them. Hopefully they did a little bit PT on here. They ain't going to take the Texans lightly. And I think they'll come out winning at least 24-13. That's I'll give it to the Los Angeles Chargers pulling out a win. All right, guys. We got the next one is we got the Cleveland Browns as the away team going into the Atlanta Falcons. I think Cleveland's a little bit better defensively. They still have the running back offensively. And, whoever's behind the helm, I forgot his name, he's doing a good job. I think Cleveland's 2-1, right? I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't really go on my stats, man, just coming out this early, humbly. I usually have a little bit of paperwork around me, who has the wins, who has losses and stuff like that. Keep it, try to keep it real, try to keep it moderate, be a little bit more realistic. That's what I'm trying to do. But right now, I'm just looking over the games and everything else, and I'm just giving you guys my opinion. These are some good games, like I said. Not really Mariota, from Oregon. I think he's all right stepping in, but I don't think the Falcons are where they need to be as far as a top team, or they're just looking for themselves, identifying themselves. Who knows? I'm saying it's still early in the game. Anybody's beatable, but I'm gonna have to give this one to the Cleveland Browns. Win over. Should be a close one too. 17-10. Yeah, I think that sounds right. A little margin. Two teams still, offensive teams still trying to find themselves, with Cleveland being a little bit ahead. All right, guys, the next one, man, this is a divisional game right here. You got your Washington Commanders going into the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so I think Dallas Cowboys 2-1, right? And you got Washington coming in. I think they're 1-2. But it's funny how these divisional games, anything could go and anything can break. I have a funny feeling that Washington's going to come in and they're going to even their season. I don't know. I think they have a win, but I think they'll go into Dallas. I think the quarterback, as of lately, he has a lot of encouragement. He's been doing his thing, and but he's going to come out and I think he's going to pull the win. So I think he has a chance. I think what's his name? He was the Wentz, right? I think Wentz and the Commanders. They have a little bit more strategy. Cowboys, I'm pretty sure they're preparing and monsooning themselves. They're waiting for that monsoon. The weather's hot and everything else, but they're going to go into the stadium. They're going to go against all the home team. So, but I think they could pull it off, and they'll have a victory by the end of the day. And I'm going to give it to the Washington Commanders. Close game, 20-17. 20-17. All right, guys, here we go. This is a tough one right here too because of the win that Jacksonville going into the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to the Crusted 13, the Crusted one, man. Shout out to my boy. I think this is the only NFC undefeated team right now. They look sharp. I told you guys with the quarterback, they got receivers, they got running backs, they got special teams. They look pretty good, but you know what? This is going to be a tough battle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be a game where it's going to determine whether they're, are they contenders or they're pretenders. And I think they have a chance to pull off, an upset. This will probably be an upset, game for me. And you guys are probably saying why? Because if Jacksonville could go into freaking right here in Los Angeles and pull a win right here in SoFi Stadium against those Chargers, I think they could also do the same thing going into Philadelphia, where the fans are going to be going crazy right here. This is going to be a battle of the offense. I think it's going to be a high scoring offense. I think this game, I'm going to give this one to the upset. My bad, Krusty. I'm going to give this one to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to go 2-2 with the quarterback, going in there and second year and making a statement for himself and for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. So 30-27, I think Jacksonville. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. Next game, the Bills. Buffalo Bills going into Baltimore. Those Ravens, right? This is going to be a crazy game right here, guys. This this is a tough one to pick, man. I'll get back to this one now. Just playing. Buffalo has looked good until last week, and the Ravens have looked good. So this is going to be a battle of the defense and battle of the offense, man. So I think whoever has the last possession of the game, I think that's who's going to win. I think this is going to be a little high-scoring game too. Defense involved, yes, but both defenses are good. Running backs are good. Quarterbacks are great. I'm looking at a close game. It's a little bit high-scoring. So and to pick, I'm honestly going to pick Buffalo with the upset. Fighting them, regrouping themselves, coming out, playing the way they used to do. Quarterback, was it Larson, forgot the name of the quarterback, going in there, doing his thing and finding themselves, But I expect, what's his name from Baltimore coming back and leading his team too. I think whoever has the last possession, the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes of the game, a close one, maybe a field goal, a high scoring. But I'm gonna pick Buffalo with the upset, going into Baltimore, beating them 30-27. I'll leave it like that. These are the afternoon games, guys. Okay, so you got the Cardinals going into Carolina. Like I said, Arizona really haven't checked out their records. A lot of teams to cover, but I've seen a little bit of this team and a little bit of that team. Seems like the Cardinals are still are the little bit better team. This could be a special teams game, depending on how the officials call it as well. And going into Carolina, shout out to all the people who are out there and experienced the hurricane. I don't know if I heard that it's going into the Carolinas. I don't know if what's going to happen or, so forth by the time, you guys see this video. But I'm looking for a good game right here, something close. I'm not really looking for a blowout. I think Cardinals, with Murray going in there a little bit, he's an established quarterback. And, I think they're getting one of the receivers back. What's his name? And I think they'll be able to pull it out. Should be a good one. I'll say 20-13. Keep it close, 20-13, 23-17 in that margin. Okay, with Arizona going into Carolina and pulling the upset, getting another victory. All right, guys. This is a tough one too, man. This is my Raiders. Shout out to the Raiders, man. 0-3. What's going on? Houston, we have a problem. I honestly, I think Denver Broncos are going into Oakland. Oakland, my bad. Las Vegas. And and I think Russell Wilson's still trying to find himself. The offense is still trying to, Russell Wilson hasn't looked great being, the guy behind the helm, guiding his team or trying to get some wins over there in Denver. Yes, it's still early. You guys got to understand, man. If something is unfamiliar, it takes time, right? Look at the Cincinnati Bengals offense. It's taking time for them to actually build a wall for, Joe Burrows and to protect, man. So I think they're Denver's still, transitioning to the new quarterback and a new offense, maybe playbook or whatever else. Raiders are struggling right now. They haven't won a win, but I'm gonna go for those Las Vegas Raiders to get their first win. I think their coach, I think their walls are against the back right now. They got to come out with the victory, and if they don't, I already told you guys what happens in the NFL. Things are always something to change. Things are always subject to change, man. If Derek Carr doesn't come out and perform, he has the helm. He is the leader behind the offense. And if he doesn't do what he does, what he needs to do, in all honesty and transparency, I think this is probably either his last season or he's going to be benched, right? So I'm expecting the Raiders to pull out a victory, Derek Carr to have a good game. I expect this game not to be too close. It's going to go one way or the other. Obviously, time is going to be in concern. But I'll give it to the Raiders. This is the one of the upsets of the day, maybe the only upset of the day, and I'm giving it to Las Vegas, straight out over Russell Wilson and those Denver Broncos. I'll say it's a good 23 to maybe 14. I'll leave it like that. I think the Raiders will come out and do what they had to do. Shout out to my boy Gilu, and shout out to all my Raider fans that are out there, especially my family. All right, guys. All right, this is gonna be another good one right here, guys. We got New England Patriots going into Wisconsin, the Cheeseheads with those Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers Packers, man. Packers have looked good, they have looked good. Patriots, really haven't. And I told you guys, right, in the beginning, when we started this whole thing, let's pick them. I gave you guys how far this team will go, what's going to happen with this team, so what. And some of the stuff I've been saying is a little true. Now, I expect the quarterback, I think Jones, if he don't come out and perform, it's good. He's going to be his back against the wall. He's going into Wisconsin. Those cheeseheads are out there. The fans are, dedicated, man. It's going to be an exciting one. It's an afternoon game, but I expect Aaron Rodgers, he's going to come out and he's going to have one over New England, Yes, Bill Belichick is the coach. He is the moderator. He's the one behind the whole helm, but he's not the player. Okay? Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? That's what Bill Belichick was saying. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers and they got something to say too. So, I think this was going to be a pretty crazy game. I think this is going down. It'll be 24-17 with Green Bay on top. I'll say that. Okay. All right. You guys got the afternoon game right here, right? This is going to be a good one too, man. You got the homies, Patrick Mahomes, going into Tampa Bay against, the GOAT, Tom Brady. So, Tom Brady hasn't looked good so far. He's looked okay. We're not used to, Tom Brady just looking okay. We're looking at him to being above average. And I think age is everything, man. It sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get old, I'm speaking for myself. He's healthy. He trains himself. He does good. Make himself in good condition. So he could play these games. Hopefully he's not like Tua. Gets hurt like that because a man taking a hit like that. Who knows, man? Everybody's body's functions different. And if he will ever, God forbid, get slammed like that, not only could be a career ending, but maybe, damaging his body, man. But he's a smart quarterback. This should be a good game. The Mahomes, you guys already see it without Tyreek Hill, man. You got the, I forgot who they got beat by last week. Was it the Indianapolis Colts, right? You come down and if he has a defense in front of him, then, if he could make Mahomes get uncomfortable and out of the pocket, that's going to be crucial. But realistically, I'm looking for the Chiefs to go in there and doing the upset against Tom Brady, and I'm expecting them to win. So I think this is going to be a close game too. It'll be 24-17 or 24-20, going to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, guys. So we got a Monday night, right? This is going to be a good Monday night right here. Woo! Battle of the NFC West, man. You know what I mean? And West Side. But you got your Los Angeles Rams going into San Francisco, up north, up the Bay. This is going to be a good game. With Garoppolo back there, I'm pretty sure, man. I'm still going to say it. It was a good signing, man, to keep Garoppolo still there, man. So all you 49ers, give a big shout out to, to the ownership and everybody, the managers and everybody else who decided to keep Garoppolo there, because Garoppolo could have went anywhere, man, and if he would have went to an okay team, he could make that okay team a great team. And obviously he's still behind the helm. He's going to lead his team to, I think to where where they need to go tomorrow. It's in San Francisco. It's a Monday night. All the 49er fans are going to be excited. I don't know. I'm going to be watching it. Let's talk about it. And, but I'm expecting too the Rams, they have looked good many a times, but then again, they exploit a little bit of weakness. They need another receiver. Defense looks okay. Special teams, all right, but the same thing for the 49ers too, they got a little bit of running game with Mozart or whatever his name is. And, they look good as well. So, it's gonna be a battle of the NFC. Whoever wants it more, it's gonna whoever's in control of the time too. That's gonna be crucial. And how this game is refereed by the referees too. So there's a lot of things can happen here. I'm just looking for a good game, but I'm expecting the 49ers. Spend some family, friends. To pull a win over the Los Angeles Rams. This should be a close game too. It could be 24-20, 27-20. So I'm just looking, not too far. I'm not looking for a blowout, but it is what it is. And 49ers taking the victory, man. So, with that being said, man, these are my picks, man. Appreciate you guys. It's been fun, man, and I thank you guys, for rocking with us, man. We like sports. I know I do, man. I'm just representing, throwing my setup in the air. My team already won. So, right now my team's just back, they'll probably take a couple days of rest. And then after they'll get back to the playbook, let's get back to, out there in the field and do what you got to do. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys. It's Saturday morning, man. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll go from there. I'll catch you guys soon, maybe in another live or maybe in another channel, right? With that being said, guys, with all due respect, this is your man of the hour, your boy Big D.